Hi guys, welcome back. I am Stu and this is Panda World for Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic. This is the first bonus park on the game. It's in more scenarios and listed under other. It was originally released on the Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 website back in the early 2000s. I'm not sure when. I think it was done by Chris Sawyer, the game maker. So it's a large-ish, fairly flat, well, completely flat apart from a few lakes scenario with a custom junior coaster. This one here called Pandemonium. So you've got panda cars there. You've also got some panda scenery as well. So this one then, add more rides and attract more people to this panda themed park. Your objective to have at least 1,500 guests in your park. You must not let your park drop below 700 rating at any time. Okay, so it's a fairly straightforward scenario then. This isn't going to give us any issues. Let's have a look to see what rides we've got to begin with. Okay, so we got some transport rides. We've got not a bad selection of gentle rides, some decent coasters, some thrill rides, some water rides, decent selection of shops, everything we could want. I think what we'll do then this time, just to be different, I think what we'll do is we'll just put the research onto maximum and then leave it and just see what comes out. Normally I will target a specific group of rides, but I think this time we'll just leave it. It's a fairly easy goal, so we'll just see what happens. I think what we'll do then, let's check out the ride first. So it's Good Excitement. We're not charging a lot for it, so what I'll do is I'll ram the price up. I'll probably put it up to about £10. See if they'll pay for that. And then what I'll do then is I'll redo this area here, this entrance area, and then I'll branch out to the sides, put a load of flat rides then along the back wall, and then once I've got a decent buffer and we've got the rating up quite high, I'll get rid of this ugly junior coaster and then start building the rest of the park. I'll probably rebuild a junior coaster at some point and try and give it some sort of panda theming, but I think for this park as I said, it's a fairly straightforward goal, but let's try and make something quite nice, take my time and just see what we come up with. It is October year 1, so we've got rid of the junior coaster then. We've got a nice selection of rides along the back wall. This sort of flat scenario does lend itself really well to my favoured 4x4 pathing system. It's really good for zoning workers. I've got an explanation in the tutorial section if you want to find out a bit more. But the general premise is, if I click on, if I can get him, click on this mechanic, is that it lines up perfectly with the zoning system of the workers, so it makes that easy. So this is my junior coaster then. So I've built a nice, well, is it nice? I don't know. So I've built this station then around it, panda themed, and we've got a junior coaster then. The timing's a bit off on it. I'll see if I can tweak that a bit. So it launches along. We've got booster sections on classic on the junior coaster, into a spiral lift hill and then back down, a few helixes around the scenery, and then back down a brake section at the end. Excitement, not bad, not quite as good as Mr. Sawyer's, but it's decent enough. So I think what I'll do then, we've got I've got a little train down here. I quite like the station I've built there. As I said, I was going to take my time on this one, so I've built a very, very simple train track just to get the first station down. Eventually I am gonna try and expand this train station around the rest of the park, but we'll have to see where we go first. So excitement on this is awful, but it should get better as the track gets longer. So I think what I'll do, I like the idea of keeping the lakes and having the paths going around the lake. So I'm thinking of using these lakes as some way of incorporating the rides. So yeah, I'm going to crack on now. I'll see you in a bit. It is October year 2. We've got just over 1,000 guests in the park. The rating's fine, no problems at all. Money wise, not bad. We're not making huge amounts, but then we're not spending a lot either, so we're keeping it nice and simple. We've got a wild mine train I'm building here. Just over here then I've got a powered mine train. So I wanted to do something going around the lake, twist and turn, going over and under itself. So we're making some good money off this one now. So good excitement. The money, now I'm building the coasters, the money is going to start rolling in. So with the powered mine trains then, because I mean they don't go that fast, so what I like to do is not have too much of a steep incline. I mean, we've got this one here, but that's just to like a sort of a normal chain lift on a coaster. But if we were to go straight into one of them, it would crawl really slowly. But at least with this one, it had a bit of momentum to take it up. So now this should give it some good speed then throughout the rest of the ride. And back to the station. Now, I don't like it when it does that. See the guests, they're wandering up to the end and back. I'm not sure if that's because the queue line is full. So maybe we'll wait a second and see if we can see, like, where are these guys going now? They're just, I don't know, completely random. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna carry on with the building. As I said, I'm gonna try putting some paths around the lakes and things like that. Try to make it look a little bit nicer than normal, because it's a simple scenario. Let's spend a bit of extra time on it. It is October year 3. We've got nearly 1,300 guests in the park, so not long to go then. Money wise, we're making some tidy money now. Again, we're spending less than we're making, so we've got loads of money. I've extended the train down a little bit, not too much. I've added loads of shops and seating areas as well, just along here. Added some bins, something I don't normally do, but let's give the handyman a bit of a break. And then just over here then I finished off the wild mine, so good excitement on that. I've gone with the pathing, gone around the lake, built a nice little bridge across it, and then just here then I've built so we've got a rotor drop and we've got a wooden coaster. I wanted to build something fairly simple, like a nice simple out and back coaster, so once the guests fill up the train, we can watch it going around. Pop that balloon. It's running on fast forward. There you go. Right, so the car comes out. There's a little S bend into the chain lift. Mistake I made was putting it along the far wall. So obviously I couldn't put any supports. I've tried to add some supports. I can't put them the other side. But so let's just look at it from this side. And here's the turnaround. I quite like this. I think it looks pretty cool. And through the supports, the shelter there, photo section, twist, a little splash down at the end, acts as a kind of a brake, slows it right down, and then we've got a couple of block brakes at the end just to help get the next one on its way. So I quite like that. Quite like that ride. Good excitement as well. So there's a better view of it. Can we get it all in? Almost. Okay, so yeah, I'm quite enjoying this, having a bit of fun. I'm going to crack on. I'll see you in a bit. It is Junior 4 and I've accidentally completed it. I was so busy building the start of a splash boats that I lost track of the guest numbers, and we completed it. So they've already dropped their balloons. I hadn't saved it just before, but we can still go in and we can still pretend we've just done it. So let's just pretend. Yay! There you go. Ooh, fantastic. Completed it. Brilliant. And we've only used a fraction of the park. So I've added a couple of shops down here, a little area in the middle with some trees and things, a submarine ride just here, and oh, that's maybe a bit too many of these on here. 15 boats, wow, on the river rapids. Okay, 5.5 excitement, that's pretty good. So we're making some tidy money now. 10,000 a month. Again, not spending a huge amount. So what we can do is maybe reduce, now we've achieved the goal, reduce the prices maybe on some of the rides, and just see if we can fill the rest of the park with this bit by year. What I did was I lowered the water a bit, built the ride, and then raised the water. I kind of like it apart from these sort of triangular bits, but if we could, I did think of putting some scenery to hide it, but no, it's a shame about that. It would be good if it filled the gap, but all in all, we're having fun, so let's crack on. It is October year 4, so here's the splash boats then that I was building until I was rudely interrupted by the scenario completing. So yeah, one thing I like to do with the splash boats is I like to split the stations, have the exit at the bottom, and then the boats all go up then, and then you've got the station at the top. That way the guests avoid the boring bit of going up, and the game doesn't actually register that part of the ride for it. So the guests only get the fun bit, a little dip then under itself, back around, and then you've got the main dips at the end. So I've got it set to only go off when the boat is full. That way you get the full weight of all the passengers on board. So it's got some good speed coming down there. I like to add these raised bits as well. It's just a good way of extending the drop as well, because they do slow down very quickly once they hit the flat water. And then back to the exit station then. Decent excitement on that. So I'm going to crack on with the building then. I'll see you soon. It is October year 5, so I've built a 4x4 ride then just around the base of the splash boats. Good excitement on that. We've got a corkscrew coaster here. Just over here then we've got a pair of impulse coasters. Good excitement on that. Let's see if the train is ready to launch on this. So it launches into a batwing. Then it goes into, I think it's called a serpent roll, around the underneath of the station. Then you've got a corkscrew going across the path, a loop, and then back around then, and then some twists and turns and back to the station. Got a little underground section there. So it's not bad excitement, quite high intensity, but nothing the guests will be too scared to go on. Photo section as well, and then back to the end. So I've got the paths then going round these lakes. I think that's about it for the paths. I got plenty of space for some more rides. So yeah, let's crack on and build them. It is October year 6. We've got a rowboats just here underneath the bridge. Now usually I build tracks with these, but I thought I'd try without, and apart from this maniac here, they're all having a pretty good time finding oh, hang on, right at the bit when I say they're having a decent time finding the way back, that's where it comes unstuck. So let's just pretend we didn't see that. So I've extended the train then over to here, another station there. What else have we got? So just over here then we've got a spinning wild mouse. Haven't done anything fancy with the station on this one. And then just over here then we've got inverted hairpin, is it? Yeah, inverted hairpin coaster. Good excitement on that. Again, I haven't done anything fancy with the station. Yeah, I'm just trying to fill these areas, and then maybe later I'll go back and do some scenery. I don't know. It's one of those things, you know. Once you've completed the scenario, it is hard to keep the motivation going. But I think it looks better than the usual parks. So it's got some nice things in it. But let's see what else we can do. It is August year 7, and we've just filled in a few rides around this section of the park then. So we've got a log flume just over here, 5 excitement on that. We've got a Virginia reel, good excitement on that. And then we've got a dinghy slide just here, 5. And I think I'm pretty happy with this. I'm pretty much done now. I think if we were playing on computer, I think what I would do is I would use the tree spamming tool, and I would just fill in some of the areas with trees. But because you haven't got that on this, I'm not going to bother. On the scenario creator mode, you do. There's a little button just where this tree is here. There's a little button just underneath there, around about there, and if you toggle that on, it when you place one tree down, it'll place about 10 or 15 or whatever. So it makes putting trees down very, very quick. On the normal mode, you have to do it one by one, and I really can't be bothered to do that. So this was Panda World, and I'm pretty much done now. I think we'll call it a day. I'm happy with that. We beat the scenario. It wasn't a difficult one, but I think the main thing was to try and do it a little bit different to what we normally do, and try and maybe put a bit more effort into how it looks. And I think it looks quite good. I like the way I've done the paving around the lakes. I like the little bridge there, and I like the wooden coaster. It's probably my favourite ride in the park. And some of the stations, like the station for the train station there, that's quite good, I think. This one, yeah, it's not bad. And the Panda World, you know, it's something I don't normally play around with stations and scenery and things like that. It's something I'm starting to do more of, and it's all good practice. And this station as well, just trying to do something a little bit different. So that was Panda World. I am Stu. Any comments or questions, drop them in the comment section, and I'll see you next time. Bye.